I saw the maid's frightened face. The old man panicked. What should I have? What system can I have? The maid still stuttered in the sky. The old man looked up now. I saw a huge object flying in the sky. Scream 7 monster bars. The appearance of the giant alien object here made the noble thoroughly terrified. Two people of the opposite sex. Spaceship is something we've never seen before. The spacecraft in the air brought. For the people of your king, it's an unprecedented shock. Even beyond the news that you've been overthrown. Temporarily improve the construction of this city, following the emergence of literary spacecraft across the country. Each one for this western coastal city. It's a sense of curiosity and awe. That the name saved the owner of the Atlantic City. It's also engraved in everyone's heart. Where did Liu Feng's spaceship go? It's all quite a shock. Right now in the Sahara. The abode of the beast tribe. Princess Aya as the leader, they're also starting to appear. On the green meadow. The fat sheep are letting the god graze. Princess Aya held up the paper. Falling from the sky. Just read the content, the princess sighed. Suddenly right. It's actually becoming more and more difficult for people to understand. In a place of chaos, flying through the leaflets that were scattered. Bella and the Bluetooth in her troop are also receiving the leaflets of flying objects, unknown Kier, scattered down. I just read you said. Ra is the toy of the Atlantic City. This room really doesn't stop. I just won a battle, and I'm not happy. He plays like that. It's time to go to the Atlantic City. Watch the ship fly high. Bella's eyes were full of excitement. Leaflets are scattered everywhere, to every noble leader who makes them wave. Earl Mu Day just got the news. Hold the leaflet of the Atlantic to the master. Screaming full of anger. This is treason, Count Mu Day, I do not accept. I need to get in touch with other nobles. What winter can't deliver? A bunch of scraps. I don't care how you use it. You have to contact them. The man below was sweating with fear. At the same time, the news also leads to a lot of different reactions between places. The followers of the cardinal god. They also got the information. The leader said to his followers, I can't blame you for not being able to contact the teacher. No, I have to hurry back to Ra alone. Report this to the teacher. Right now in the Atlantic. Aveni and I have just arrived. Aveni eyes happily said. Master Gia, this is a city. Look at the magnificent city. People travel and trade are busy. Zombie uttered. The city is so beautiful. Winter is so alive. The king couldn't do it before. Aveni, call my lord. I'm taking you to see Ellie. In a very large crowd of animals. A girl told everyone below. Everyone in line has to register. Then we'll go to dinner. Aveni has brought Ra you to the government. Aveni has just called the princess. The call made Ellie immediately return to ask AVG about Sao. It's not that we said no more calling the princess. Why suddenly? But even more surprising, behind Avengi, another person appeared. Ellie sees uttering perverted, she is yummy, yummy. I'm also glad that Ellie recognized me. Emotionally, I was surprised. You're a mountain away from me. Your Highness, the princess, at this time in the capital of the Atlantic City. They are welcoming two guests from far away. At the table, Fong is talking to two women. Standing on both sides were his powerful hands, Ali and Mina. In front of everyone, you have hot tea. I'm still smoking Johnny Cola. Skin to voice. Save the land. Congratulations on getting the place you lost. This time I brought 500 goats to celebrate. Welcome to say thank you. On the table right now, the other female guest is Bella. Just came from a place of chaos. The pig also continued. Save the land. My little sister is hard for you to take care of. About this time. In my situation, you know 100 cars. As a response. I won't be polite in the landing room. The two women did not give up. We all have black eyes looking at each other. The situation on the table suddenly became tense. What happened to them when they were kids? Ellie sighed and said, no, master. Previously, in the animal kingdom, their relationship was not good. Look at each other, give each other loving eyes. The two women stood up screaming. Guys, I have something to do with you. Bella didn't just say, save my men either. Not in time to respond. The two girls turned out right to meet you with me first. Based on something. Based on the cat. Save the wind helpless to reassure. Don't worry, we have time to talk. Two plans were put forward without thinking about it. I know. Ayako wants to take over the prairie, but doesn't have enough supplies. Hope to ask me for help. Bella thought in her mind. The plateau of that area is almost chaotic. Liu Feng continued to talk vastly. You want to develop a large territory, in the midst of chaos, like not enough weapons. I hope I can provide it for free. Bella decided to speak up. That's right, just enough willpower. So I can unify the chaos. 3 words where the chaos gets your attention. I repeat the demands of the two women. Savor fun meat. Of course, it doesn't matter. Liu Feng's consent made the two girls happy. Liu Feng continued, but where I have an agreement. It is considered as a basic national policy. You have to do your best to show support. Many know the country. Everyone can see it. 2 pacts are presented in front of 2 girls. My family opened the document with the agreement. It's called the Racial Pact. I saw 2 girls read the exile agreement. Everybody knows, now in the Atlantic city of many animals. We can say that this is the development of the Atlantic, not separate from animals. But still, you are lost is the kingdom. It is closest to the national capital. In recent years, many people have been enslaved. My thoughts. Is that absolutely, she cursed slavery. Free those people out. Bella finished reading the agreement and listened to what Liu Feng said. Ask them to save. Do you want this part of the deal? Will also take effect in our place later. That's right. Because of the interaction between us. The future, our people will be more and more crowded. Which this part of the agreement will also be the protection, best guarantee so that they can go to our country. Humans and medicine can shake hands. Of course, I don't want to take this for granted. Don't worry, even if everyone agrees. The support I promised will also be provided to everyone. There's a lot of strategy going on. Clearly know the terms. People can take it back and see more. Understand the meaning of Liu Feng's heart. The 2 girls would gladly agree. The family is a little hesitant. I'll give you an answer as soon as I can. The negotiation is over. Liu Feng is right. There's an old friend of yours who's been waiting. His words surprised the 2 girls. Who is that old friend Sao? Animal girl. Who Liu Feng said was their old friend Kier went to. Surprise voice Gia me. Gia me appears radiant, emotionally said. Elsa, Princess Bella, has not seen you for a long time. Bella asked if you've been to Atlantic City. There is a little blame in the distance. Where did you go? I couldn't find you at first. Me gently kicked this out for a long time. Hands up the cup of tea. Just watched the conversations of old friends. Long time see you. After everything, everyone goes to work. On the table right now. Let's start solving the job. I'm studying the terms of the agreement. I see you have so much enthusiasm. I stood next to the young man. How important is this agreement? The wind still does not stop expensive hands. It doesn't matter if you say it doesn't matter. Speaking important is also important. What you need is a habit. Mina surprised habits SAO. Liu Feng continued. Later have to ship train. Steamship. It's going to be a way of transportation that breaks with tradition. Communicate between people. Will be more and more bustling. Now what you do is make rules. As long as everyone follows your rules. Must be natural. We'll be able to quietly influence countries. We've got to do this so-called national concept. Until then, you're going to build a whole new civilization. Listen to the words the master just said. Mina against hand thinking does not understand. Then remember something. Mina asked again. So we actually help Ayama Bell to be SAO. They want to rebuild the exciting experience kingdom, stronger than the future. Will he deal with us? Mina's innocent question made the wind laugh. Mina was surprised what the young master was laughing at. Mina was afraid to say what the young master was laughing at. The wind suddenly stood up, came to hug Mina's waist and gently replied. It's just that suddenly, there's some joy. Liu Feng's unexpected emotional act make Mina shy, blush, loses momentum, fall into the chest of the wind. Liu Feng said, don't worry, there is nothing wrong. Help Bella, it's because we can make her the belt. Damping between us, and wear the chaos, keep the fire away from us. But even if you take over the prairie, but because of the nomadic ethos, they can't build a center of power. Fixed iron mineral deficiency. It will also make them think about us. Growing to the end, it will also become our meat warehouse. He just scratched the head of his cute little cat. I said, let me think deeply so you can feel better. Mina softly replied, that's what Ra is. In a room where people are sitting, talk with your voice. That's what Ra is. You all have your own development. Surely your majesty under the golden stream knows. It's also very touching. Then Ra is Yami's voice talking to Ellie. Ya and Bella. Bella also kindly asked. My family has been hard for you for years. Amy cleverly replied, compared to the elders. I've only been in the snow for a few years. It doesn't count. So the museum that you've prepared for the restoration of the nation. How do you guys divide? The zombies' question silenced everyone. Fall into contemplation. Ellie quietly bit the cake. Look at the notebook in your hand. There are many thoughts in my mind. The room became silent for a moment. Bella spoke to break the somewhat stuffy atmosphere. So my lord, what the king left behind. Burning skin with air tank. There are gold coins, there are other types of foot treatments. To hear what the king left behind. Bella excitedly said that I'll get the airbag. My side has to fight. Aya spoke up to stop him. My prairie also lacks iron. Ellie is still absorbed in her thoughts. Nicola's workmanship is getting better and better. If you haven't eaten anything lately, you'll feel unable to work. It's weird. Ellie's eyes were still fixed on the brown book in her hand. I don't care about Bella and Aya. I saw Ellie was silent. Bella called Ellie. Whatever you say, you have your share. Now Ellie looked up. Bella continued. That was right when we were talking to you. Do you always eat? It also continues. I also discovered. My taste wasn't that great before. Ellie heard people say that and wondered about the stone. I don't know why. You can't always want to eat. I can't see it. I get sleepy every day and want to go to bed. Young me then asked Princess Ellie. Excuse me, let me be frank. Let me look at the relationship between you and the camera. The owner doesn't seem ordinary. Skin continuous words. I knew this early on. She likes to save the summer. People are looking for black. Ellie shouted, I didn't. Suspicious Skin asked the real Sao. Ellie looked shy, but calmly replied. Of course, it's not clear that he likes me. I knew Yami hidden. Ask Ellie the princess to ask her and save. Has the owner ever slept together? Ellie was afraid to shout, right? How can I put him in my bed? See this attitude of Ellie. Everyone understands in their heart. So there it is. My dad thought for a while. Say your opinion, princess. Bella, I have a guess. 3 people whispered to each other. I just saw her say it. Jimmy is still thinking. Presentation of the base. I just have my doubts. Princess Ellie's mother had the same reaction at first. Ellie, a party black facial. The eyes have completely lost consciousness, muttered. What are you talking about? After a discussion, 3 people decided to tell Ellie. Elsa whispered to Ellie. Listen, you're probably pregnant. Words like lightning strike across the ear. Take away Ellie's last breath. Ellie collapsed without a word. Bella spoke up and left. It doesn't make sense for us to have another argument. Everyone's weapon, half the money, a little. Most of them take Ellie and Ellie as a dowry. I agree with you. I have no opinion. Ellie couldn't take it anymore and ran away. I'm still thinking in my head. Have you closed your eyes and run? Ellie rushed into the nun who just walked in. I saw Ellie running without looking at the road. The nun anxiously asked Ellie why she was so panicked. What happened? Ellie was still losing her temper. Nicola stammered. Me. I'm pregnant, and then I have a pale face. Up an hour. Ellie ran to the library. Notify her young master. He is also the author of Tai. I was also surprised to have Tai Sao. Ellie was taken to check. Sitting on the bed, Ellie looked anxiously at the wind. I'm looking at the Tai test stick on my hand. Call the young master. After an analysis, he came back and rubbed his head to reassure her. No Sao do not stress very quickly will have results. Look at everyone's eyes. Must save the room. I really want to have a child after me. After waiting for a while, Ellie spoke up again. Are there any results? I was startled. Let me see. I keep thinking in my mind if there really is. But the Tai test stick image shows up again. The truth is there is only one line. I breathed a sigh of relief and answered no. Ellie is in a panic right now. In your head, be careful to drink. Ellie now became angry again. But my family says I have. Gia shy kick, I just told suspect. Who expected the princess to move so big? I have a little hope in my heart. So it's a misunderstanding. Outside calmly asking what the love was. Why do people come back and conclude you? Orika hesitantly responds to limited reservation. People that talk. not paying attention to Ellie's 7 eyes, sadly thought. Ra has no children. Mina came to tease him. Why do you feel so sorry? Ellie refused this push. No, I still play not enough. You may want to have a baby. Because she laughed softly at that time, my wife had a fight. Ellie bent leaf face. But if there's actually a child, does everyone feel that, young master? Ellie's question stopped people laughing. I thought Nico would be fun. 3 people with red faces looked at the wind, shy about the thought. It's getting late at night. In the dark, an army of horsemen. The knight rode towards the gate of a castle. So this is Earl Muge's domain. In the count's court, he's welcoming the other dukes. You just arrived to discuss plans against exile. He looked at the people who had just arrived and welcomed them. People come here. I wonder why I was called to the Lord. He rushed to summon everyone. What do you want to do? Count Muge swiping show. I invited you here for nothing else. I want to negotiate with people a little bit. So how do you deal with the rebel in Kier's room? I have a plan. It can help us to become independent. But we need everyone's help. Go back to the library. She is still remembering the words of the family. Talk about Ellie's condition. Expression, Hira said. Ellie, every recently, she can't help but like the delicious. And the sleepiness. So I thought. Sit down at the table and talk. Can't go to eat sleepy sweets. Maybe I was too tired. You have to think about how to find someone to share. Let Ellie go. This has to happen quickly. From outside the front door came a bald soldier. There's a flower on my head. Is the head just 2 plant trees in legend or SAO? He's holding an envelope in his hand. Just go and say, Lord. There was a letter from Lord Lucy. Give me the answer. The content of the letter is to save the master's room. I saw the starship of the Atlantic City. I also got the news that you've captured other places. You're the man who did the miracle. Some of the things I said, Ra, may not be appropriate, but I still want to congratulate you. The royal capital should not now be called the Lost City. Me and Ra have completed the basic structure. The structure that you designed has also been built. Now nobility is just a title. All power is gone. Move to the administration building. But this job category is having problems in the suburbs. You are lost. This sentence caught my attention. The letter is also written recently, every time our people get out and don't get lost. They all encountered the code. Fortunately, there are soldiers. No damage to 7 lives. But as far as I can hear, other places also appear waste. No small damage to places. Listen to the letter announcing the situation of Lucy exile. Surprise code obesity, SAO. Speaking of which, please stand up and give orders. Arrange a little, I want to go to the Lost City. There was a loud response. You are in danger before the king. Master Liu Feng has arrived. Lucy welcomed to the ceremony. Master Liu Feng must be welcomed to the Lost City. The world between us is no stranger. Lucy replied respectfully. You're the one who came to the throne. At least in front of outsiders. I still need to be nice to you. Still want to refuse. Even so, I don't want to extend that distance. In the royal palace, Lucy looked at the wind. Have you set a time yet? The wind just walked away. There's not too much to deal with yet. But perhaps predetermined by spring. Lucy heard that, and it won't be long. Save the wind. So we have to take care of it every hour. Every minute problems. The appearance of Liu Feng made Vaya excited drawing. His glittering eyes called the young master. Young master, you came this time because of the fee code, right? Happy to say yes. I saw everyone's letters. Lots of news to ask. These scumbags have any strange place? For example, is there anything different about the code? When asked, the students had. They act in uniform. It is clear that you have undergone training. The villa also continues. Is a defector, before the prince and the next to princes. I dare not define this. Listen to the reports. Are they just worried about killing people? The fire doesn't pay attention to food. No, Lord Liu Feng is right. The students were surprised to say, have you ever seen them? Expensive room, just speculation. But I've got the answer. This army is really the army. The private soldiers of the nobles. Liu Feng's words startled everyone. But the nobles in the royal capital have been transferred. Vaya also continues. Yes, young master, they also gave up all military power. To explain the nobles outside the royal capital. More than half of it is because of watching my press release. See everyone's actions again. Not willing to give power. So go out and cause trouble. Princess Lucy, thinking outside the capital. Look out the door. It is normal to continue to protest. Not even Sao, who wants to wait for the sword to hang on his neck. But next, don't blame us. I am excited to ask the Lord. We have to solve them. That's right. Next I crane collector. 10 aristocratic proof and structural charge code. Just have this. We can make the power of the nobles influence. About the number 0. No one likes a boss who doesn't protect himself. Look at the plan Lucy's thinking. They can solve the noble. It can capture people's minds. The abandonment of aristocracy would make more sense. Save the land, no matter what the problem is. It will also be your chance. Liu Feng is rubbing his head and applauding Vaya. This time is hard. Vaya shy reply. I really like this job. At the same time in another city. In a big house. Among the greenery of nature. There was a loud laugh. Ha 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 ha, comfortable. I haven't been so comfortable in years. Get more wine. So this is where the scum's base is. A guy with a bruised nose mixed in muscle sputtering. Yesterday I gave the Kier village raider. I thought there were women in the kingdom. Yeah, that smell, don't mention it. One of them is also Theo. Do you have some money? Then he laughed again. You saw the fire last night. Ha 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 ha, I burned it more than half of the morning already. Above high, Count Mu Day is looking at the people laughing. Under that cold face the voice. A bunch of idiots. At this time, a servant came. Give me a piece of paper. Master's alarm says this is the harvest this time. This dynasty is great. I just arranged them to go out and cause trouble. Just stealthily harvested money from the world. I don't know if it's good. The Count had the report in his hand. Satisfied stone. These guys really think I'm going to help them out. When you're lost, it's time to think about how to get the money. Even the servant who pleases the words. These people, I can see through your mind. The unworthy Earl said with great shame. Wait for them to come out a few more times. Then we can collect the net, and we have to deal with them. We are rewarded with the new king. This time at least I'm a duke. The Lord also spoke to the Count. The master personally led his followers to destroy the fee code, the national stable labor. Of course, this is enough. The Earl laughed so coldly that it was best. One evening on the sea, the storm rises. The sky's rays crash down on the sea. The big waves make the boats wobble. To endure great tremors, the boats are still trying to stay afloat at sea, not to be drowned by the waves. In the back chamber, accidentally tense air. There's only sound directing the boat to the left quickly. The sound of panic, the boat is flooded. In the ship's cabin, no matter the rain and the storm, the Fabro princess is still reading. On the one hand, the Red Deacon is still worried. Keep an eye on what's going on out there. That's what the princess said. Pink deity, don't stress. The ocean won't stop us. No matter how worried I am, I know the princess. Mostly when we arrive. I lost 7 too many impressions. 2 deep princess eyes sparkled cold. This is not the same SAO. Now below the ship. In the heart of contemporary, from the other side of the net, down to the first ropes. Over there are the fish. The neck rope. Then there are the bad people. Use the fish to control. Balancing their boat, or SAO. Through a night of heavy rain and wind, the next morning it was blue again. The 3 boats survived the storm. Back to the port of the Imperial Gate. On the boat right now, the princess is talking to the fishman. It's hard. Man CA, after a tired night breathing rosy, said, "You promised us you'd forgotten." She replied calmly, "As long as someone obeys, I won't touch your family." Then she turned to the man next to her. "Take them down so they can rest. We will use it later." Quick retainer, yes. 5 mermaids were brought to the cabin. He is holding 2 of his relatives. Even though he was tired, he still reassured his father. "No SAO, no SAO. Your daughter is sobbing, saying be a blessing." The princess was not allowed to go down to the port. "Your Majesty's servants must continue. Return to the Empire." She turned to look at the servant. "To arrange a car to take us home." In the checkered empire, a carriage is approaching the castle. "Your Highness, welcome the princess." Adventure 7 is waiting. A big arm. Take out and grab the fish with the sauce. Small mouth chewing. The people below look so cold. The princess stepped in and said, "Father, your current phenomenon, not like a king." The king swallowed half the fish. "The sauce is still on the beard," he replied with a loud smile. "Haha. He has taught me to travel without change." King Sander Ra continued, "Do as you like as a king." What does it mean not to be king? But the empire now can let us root. The next life is uncertain. The other 2 empires have recently grown. Adventure, I know. Name Cuck King, let the fish down, hand wipes the sauce from your mouth. The glass of wine says, "Tell me, what's the harvest this time?" My face is still cold. 6 other people he knows. The king drank and answered, 2 months ago there was news. Ask your father what he plans to do." The king continued, "The empire has prepared 300 ships. It's just a lack of leadership." Speaking of which, one of the beaches below spoke out loud, "Your Majesty, this position is not what you promised." The duke's attitude was somewhat outrageous. To make the king angry, make the Kier gods afraid again in a hurry. Sorry. Just fill in what you think. Filion, you will be the leader of this team. I will lead them. King Sander Ra said, "There are many in the kingdom. Look closely at this position. If you just say one thing you want to go, others will think about doing SAO. The officials below also bowed their faces to the coin. Vote, give a map in hand, speak. This is a 6-dimensional map. These things are my work over the years. The people there are open-mouthed. Then she goes to the opposite shore. No blame, there is no information. The princess continued. I understand that. 6. They also arranged a lot of insides. They just listen to you. The king is pleased to be so delivered. The princess said yes. I was lost on a big yellow boat. The Lord Marquis is coming this time. The Marquis has been difficult. The yellow boat came once. Of course, we have to play. This time a long-haired guy with a fresh face said, Thank you for your visit. This time, boat, and we still serve people as before. I hope you gentlemen can experience the perfect train ride. In the hall is that countless tables are decorated with dignity. In front of an exam speaker, like a giant flower. The officer checked once, then go back and tell the wind. Great recording. Master Liu Feng. Finally, this is Princess Lucy's voice asked when she saw these strange things. This is a betting boat. Africa can take over the whole country. This is not a treatment. A noble can organize. It must be the result of many nobles joining hands. Now in your hands is everywhere. They are our eyes and ears. Actions of these nobles, we all hold in our hands. The noble analyst Lucy knows that too. It's not easy to catch their tail. But they urgently need a place to negotiate. I borrowed an excuse to gather. So this is the trap you arranged for them. That's right. Next, we're just waiting for them to show their tails. The golden boat is full of passengers. Anchor forward to the big sea. In the evening, the golden boat shimmered in the moonlight. Sitting in front of speaker tracking, something caught the employee's attention. Go back and tell the wind. You have to save the room. Lao Fong is talking with VIP and Lucy. Hearing that, he turned around and walked towards the speaker. Listen to what Lucy's group has been up to lately. The other person replied, Those people must have been scared out of their wits. Absolutely dare not go out of the city. Kier laughed proudly, ha ha ha. Cannot help but say, Count Muji's disguised bandit trick. Really cool, just robbed money, and not even scolded. You absolutely do not reveal the news. To be heard. In a room on the ship. 2 subordinates of Count Mu Day. Don't you worry, the brown shirt is in front of you right now. Dare not itch the scalp. The gray shirt continued. The Lord asked me to ask. Have you had any goals recently? I remind you to hurry. If we don't wait, we'll have enough for the 4 kings. It's also spring. The guy replied, Of course there is. That's Liu Feng's fleet. Find Kier registration had to. Liu Feng's fleet must be all good stuff. Cooking clothes. I heard that the car supplies. Used to make it new. There is no shortage of food and clothing. That's the route and time of the fleet. I've been listening. The escort is small. Until then, the cavalry volunteered once. They will mess up their situation. Give Tay the money information. The gray shirt is good. Only this time succeed. 4T attack to the capital will come to hand. Until then, we are also quick to strike at the capital. This good news. I'll move to Cho soon. The brown shirt had to succeed until then. Don't forget me. The Kier man replied calmly. Count Mu Day will follow you. The conversation is over. VN said they fell out. Young master, what are we waiting for? Catch them now. save the wind back.